So this is the much delayed part 2, and I am going to be doing things differently, because whilst I was sick, I did have a chance to look at the wiki, and I've noticed that things have finally changed for the better. Before, there used to be hardly any information at all on events. When I started doing these videos, all you got at the most were patch notes on one of the wikis. There were two wikis. One wiki had no information at all. The other wiki had patch notes. Both of those wikis died a death. The new wiki, which is the one that we currently have, that one was slow in getting its information up and out there because they had to build it from scratch. But they finally got it to a place that they can put up information about the events and stuff, and we are now getting that event information on there. That means that all the information that I've been putting into the videos before is no longer needed, because you can go to the wiki and find it there. So these videos, they're going to be focusing on the boss fights, the cutscenes, and talking about possible strategies for dealing with the bosses. I'll probably end up just focusing on hard modes later on, because the easy modes are just easy. Okay, so let's get on with it. B1. Interestingly, this is the same boss that appeared on the USS Fallen Wings event, also on B1. However, this doesn't have a boss timer, so it's different, and therefore weaker than the boss that appeared in that event. The other strange thing about this is that we do have Tirpitz as the pre-boss, and again, because the boss is actually weaker, Tirpitz is a bit stronger because Tirpitz has more health, more armor, and therefore you want to be splitting your special attacks between Tirpitz and the boss just to burn them down quickly. Beyond that, there's not much to say here. So in my last video, I did say there is a reason why Victorious does feature in this event. Basically, the historical reason is this entire map for B2. It features Duke of York and Victorious and their raid on Tirpitz. Basically, the whole situation is that back in 1944, Victorious, Duke of York, and a few other ships went off to attack Tirpitz. They got close enough, and Victorious launched a whole series of planes, and they went on a raid for Tirpitz, which was nestling in the fjords at the time. The planes struck Tirpitz, caused a lot of damage on the superstructure. There was a bit of flooding and things, but they were unable to penetrate the main armour of Tirpitz. So there was no significant damage to perhaps sink her or anything like that, but there was serious damage in other areas to put her out of action for several months. So that's why in the actual event, during the cutscenes, there's the whole kind of like back and forth where she's looking to attack Tirpitz and stuff, and she'll be like, okay, I've attacked you, I've got you, and a bit of ha ha ha, I'll let you go this time, you know. And Tirpitz is kind of like angry and things with her and things, and a lot of people have interpreted it as being a bit of a lover's quarrel and things. So that's why there's a little bit of a shipping kind of going on, and people are pairing these two together because they think that Tirpitz and Victorious are having a lover's quarrel in this event. And that is the whole historical background behind this little map in the event. Now, the way of dealing with Tirpitz in this event is a little bit simple. You just need to burn her down, because she's going to do a lot of armor-piercing attacks to your back line. Your front line is going to get hammered, but your back line is going to get smashed as well. So your only option is to try and get in close, hit her with whatever you've got, burn her down as fast as you can. Yes, she's got magnetic torpedoes. Try and dodge out of the way of the spread of the armor-piercing rounds that she'll send out to your scout fleet. But you don't need to worry as much as Scharnhorst when it comes to the maneuverability, because she's not as speedy as Scharnhorst. So just keep barring away, use your carriers and things. They're not going to be much of an issue here. She'll go down fairly easy. Even in her hard mode, she's not that much of a challenge. You can just get past her fairly simply enough. And here we are at B3, and we do see a return of the mysterious ship, otherwise known as Alter Enterprise. Again, a lot of us do think that she could be an Essex class carrier. The mystery here is nobody knows the identity, and she was introduced in the previous event, the USS Fallen Wings event. So again, we have no clue who she is, but everybody's calling her Alter Enterprise because, yeah. So the theory is that she might be in a different faction. We have sort of seen that before, where in some of the factions themselves, some of the ships have split off and made their own sub-factions. So this could be something like that, but again, it's just pure speculation at this point. And we're finally at the last boss, and it's a brand new boss with new attacks and things. Hooray! So, last boss is not recycled from previous events that I've seen, so let's talk about it. We get a laser beam attack that comes out horizontally. There's a boss timer. If you don't stop the boss timer, you're going to get 2 extra diagonal laser beams that have come out. There is a wave attack, and part of the wave attack is that you also will get a extra bullet wave that will come out, fly a certain distance, and then will return from the boss. The boss will also shoot out a wave of torpedoes, so the entire fight is interesting, dynamic, and fun. In hard mode and in the extra operation mode, the boss does appear again and is a lot more harder to deal with, but in easy mode it's fairly straightforward. The laser doesn't do that much damage in normal mode, so you don't need to worry about dodging it that much, but it is fairly easy to dodge all of the attacks in the easy mode, and you can burn down the boss fairly simply in normal mode. Harder mode, again, hard mode, you're going to want to try and dodge as much as you can, and it is a bit trickier to burn down. And in the extra operation modes, well, we're going to get to that soon because that's the footage that I'm starting to show now. So clearing it is fairly straightforward. The clearing, one thing to note is you're going to have to watch out for the kind of like main ships that you get, the kind of like rook ships and the night ships, because they do go after your backline, and because of that you want to shoot at them first because they're going to go after your flagship, and if your flagship goes down you're going to be out of it. So your front lines, if you got healers in your fleet, you can keep your front line up, so go after those ones first. Try and kind of like go for the sirens as well. There's no siren chasers at all on the extra operations. It's kind of like the standard maps. It's very kind of like straightforward to clear. You can clear it simply enough, and once you've cleared it, don't forget to go onto double line for your boss clearing fleet. Your whole trash clearing fleet, you don't need to worry about it. Just go for a standard trash clearing fleet. Trash is fairly straightforward to clear. If you've done the Neptunia event and you did the extra operation there, it's a similar thing where the trash was fairly simple to deal with. But the other thing is, the boss in this one is easier to deal with than the boss in the Neptunia event. So, yeah, the Neptunia event extra operation was a lot harder than this one, although trash was pretty much the same level. So, yeah, if you're watching, it's a bit of a high speed one because I do it at 5 times speed. Otherwise, you just get totally bored. But here we go. We've set it on to double line now, and we're going to be going into the boss. Now, the whole thing is you're going to have to watch out because your flagship is going to take a lot of damage, and you won't even notice it because you're going to be so focused on burning the boss down before your timer runs out, and you're going to take a lot of damage. But to get the furniture, you don't need to worry about getting a clean kill. If one of your ships goes down, it doesn't matter. If your flagship goes down, however, it's game over. So there are armor-piercing shells that come out from the boss, and so she does seem to be sniping your flagship. So that is something to kind of like be aware of. The best way to deal with it is to just try and kill her before the 2 minutes are over, and hopefully in that time your flagship won't be destroyed and you can actually have defeated the boss, and with a sliver of health left you'll be through it. Anything beyond that you're going to risk just defaulting the match because your flagship will get sniped down. The one thing to say is, yeah, you're going to be careful about the lasers. As you can see, they are dynamic in this one. You've got a lot more lasers here. The same kind of amount of lasers that you get in the hard mode, but they are moving a lot more, and you've got a lot more to deal with. The boss is tougher here than it was in the hard mode, but again, you do not need a clean kill. So just keep going for it. Get the boss down, get your furniture reward. Doesn't matter if you get the A rank. A rank is good enough. A lot of people have A rank. A lot of people got to the end, and as soon as the boss blew up, have lost either one ship or two ships. I lost Edinburgh right at the end, but a lot of people have had that happen. It's a fine thing to have happen to you. You don't need to worry about getting the S rank on these extra operations. After all, it's just EPing furniture here. Nobody really cares how you get it, as long as you've got it. The general rule of thumb is if you can take on World 10, you can do the extra operations. Or if you can do the extra operations, you can take on World 10. So either way, just consider it that way. I'm going to end the video here, so bye for now.